Ladies and gentlemen, now today I wanted to take a bit of a run at a video request that I've got so much this year, which is to talk about and rank the best unawakened champions in Marvel Contest the Champions. Because one of the things, as the game has got increasingly more complicated, we have like 140 characters now, there are so many certain requirements for characters to be good, like being awakened or having certain synergies or ideally having a very, very high signature level, on some characters, that people just want to know when they pull a character, bare bones, is it going to be, in my opinion, quite a useful character, quite a valuable character, and people just kind of want this tier list as a little bit of a rough guide. You know, if you pull a character, is it any good unawakened in comparison to some of the other characters? And again, this tier list, man, is kind of based on my personal opinion and experience, but this is also my very first time kind of stripping back everything from the original tier list as well, and trying to put it into a much more simplified version and just looking at characters individually, unawakened, and determining their comparative value. But as the general disclaimer, you know, Marvel Contest the Champions is an incredibly complicated game with so many matchups, so many different modes of gameplay, that you should always treat tier list of any kind for what they are, a very, very rough guide to, you know, my opinion on what I believe are some of the most valuable characters. And you are very entitled to have a different opinion, and I'm also, you know, interested to get it, actually, because again, this is my very first time doing the Unawakened Champions tier list and trying to kind of rank them and order them all. So if you do have any input on where certain characters should be put or where some should be potentially shifted, please do let me know in the comment section below. But again, just to kind of clarify some of the differences between this one and the main tier list that we do on the channel. So the main tier list kind of factors in like absolutely everything and the maximum potential of the characters. So it has the awakened abilities, it has the signature level, and also the benefits from synergies. Because, you know, there are so many characters that either rely on being awakened, like Scarlet Witch, Star-Lord, Dr. Voodoo as well, or certain characters like Thor Ragnarok, Winter Soldier, Mephisto, Sentry, Ant-Man, Black Bolt, that will rely on certain synergies in order to be, you know, fairly decent characters. So the aim of this one is just to kind of strip it all back, and hopefully be quite useful to some newer progressing players, even maybe some veterans that might pull some characters and are wondering, you know, my thoughts on how they compare to other characters in the game. So yeah, let's talk about the 5 champions that I believe, you know, still retain pretty much all of their value in the Beyond God tier column, even unawakened. So 3 of these champions are actually available as 6-star characters, Domino, Corvus, and Ghost. So Domino, man, you've still got crazy damage with Domino. She is just so valuable still. Obviously does benefit quite nicely from that Massacre synergy as well, but even without that, man, she's still got ridiculous level damage. And also the ability to reduce ability accuracy reduction, which can be so valuable in certain matchups as well. But Domino can still blast through pretty much everything unawakened as well. And Corvus, even unawakened, man, is still an absolute beast. His awakened ability is, again, very negligible. Gives him cheat death, though, while he's got glaive charges, which in certain scenarios can be very useful. But even outside of that, man, you'll see a lot of people that get like a 6-star Corvus and take him up to rank 2, or fully max out 5-star Corvus, same with 5 or 6-star Domino, even unawakened as well. So yeah, both of those characters are still MVP. Magic's awakened ability, again, is nice to have, but even unawakened, she is what she is, which is the absolute queen of power control. Special 2, keep the opponent in the corner, keep spamming the special 2, win the video game. So Magic is still incredibly dominant when it comes to a lot of events and certain matchups, and still a really tremendously good character. And then we got Starkanaut Spider-Man. So again, he has a very nice benefit in terms of his damage output with his awakened ability, but still he's got the damage, he's got all of his utility, man. You've still got the taunt, the stun, the power drain, the assisted evade, the evade cancel on the special 3. Like Starkanaut Spider-Man, even Unjute Man is a friggin' Beyond God tier champion. He is so incredibly good. And then finally we have Ghost, who only her awakened ability is A very small benefit, but a very, very nice one in certain matchups. So it's whenever a champion misses her, she's going to gain like a little bit of power. But even Unawakened, man, she pretty much does everything. You can still swipe back to phase, which is a huge, huge mechanic for getting rid of all debuffs. You know, with the Hood synergy, you can tank special freeze and also fight stun immune characters very, very well. But Ghost is still definitely one of the hardest champions overall to play in the game. So, you know, she has that going for her. Very, very high risk champion, very, very high skill requirement, but insanely high reward, because you can get through pretty much everything with Ghost if you're an incredibly talented player. Then in terms of the god tier, we've got a lot of very high utility mutants there. We've got Iceman, Emma Frost, and Omega Red. They have so much utility, so much these champions can do, and they're great fun, man. Double immunities on each and every single one of them, with kind of extended immunities as well. Iceman is immune to Incinerate, Emma Frost is immune to pretty much everything in Diamond form, and Omega Red also doesn't take damage back from Korg, which is very, very nice, even Unawakened there. So still a god tier champion, but Omega Red, he gains a lot more damage from his Awakened ability and also the unblockable mediums, so his one is very nice to have as well. So Archangel, takes a little bit of a dip from beyond God tier to just God tier without his Awakened ability, because his damage output is still absolutely crazy, but the Awakened ability does provide ability accuracy reduction, which pretty much shuts it off once you've got a few stacks of Neurotoxin, and also heal block as well. So Archangel does gain a huge amount of value from his Awakened ability, and it's very, very nice to have for a lot of matchups in the game to completely shut characters down. But even Unawakened, man, he has a lot of damage, like a crazy, crazy amount of damage, and is still one of the highest damage output champions when you can poison and bleed the opponent. So yeah, I still really like him, Unawakened, man. Then we got Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider loses a judgment when he's not awakened, but he still has like all of his utility. Granted, it's a little bit shorter. Bleed immunity, massive regeneration potential as well, so he's really, really great. Symbiote Supreme doesn't really need to be awakened. He just kind of gains an additional like nullify at the start of the fight, and I think once every like 15-20 seconds, something like that. But I got my Symbiote Supreme at rank 4, man. It definitely is such a good character, does not need to be awakened at all, but it's a nice bonus to have. It's kind of same with Morningstar. Morningstar maybe gets a little bit more added because she can copy buffs and also reduce them, but even Unawakened, this champion can be an absolute powerhouse. You've got the bleed immunity, the very powerful special 2, which can nullify all of the buffs. Also, the ability to, what is it, regenerate some health based on damage dealt once you got some souls, the perfect block. Like there's quite a few things Morningstar can do, but she's still a bit of a ramp up champion. You need a couple of fights to really get her going. Blade, just on his own, is still a really, really valuable character, but obviously the Awakened ability is really, really nice because that infinite regeneration that is so incredibly stacked, man, that has a lot of value when it comes to endgame content, but he's still taking down those dimensional beings, and if you can bleed somebody, he's going to absolutely tear through them. But obviously Blade does get good benefit from the Ghost Rider and Starkanaut Spider-Man synergy, and also his Awakened ability as well. And then we got Killmonger, still has his True Strike and Indestructible, and, you know, alright damage for Killmonger Unawakened, so it can still be used to get through quite a lot of matchups there. Still a very valuable champion for a lot of people. And then next up we have Venom the Duck. Does not need to be awakened at all to be an absolute beast mode character. Can still store all of his buffs in the RNA bank and just go absolutely ham. But the Awakened ability just kind of does juice up the effectiveness of a lot of his stuff, man, especially when it comes to the special 2 armor burn duration. So it's nice to have, but it's not really needed. He's still God tier champion without it, but again, it's very nice to have as well. Venom's allows him to start the fight with a couple of buffs, which can definitely increase the damage output on the average fight, and also increases the effectiveness, I believe, of some buffs as well. So it's a nice to have, but it's really not needed. Like, even Unawakened, man, Venom can still counter all of the Spider-Man, Infinity War Iron Man, get the armor break to counter champions like Killmonger, for example, as well. So yeah, still a great champion, Unawakened, very, very powerful after the revamp. And then we got Hyperion and Medusa, who just kind of miss out on a bit of damage and also maybe a bit of utility. Mainly Hyperion with the utility, because you have At least on the 5-star version, like 70% less debuff duration, Unawakened, so that affects stuff like the power gain, the furies, the regeneration, so he still hits very, very hard, and he's still an absolute titan of a champion, Unawakened, but he's, you know, a little bit gimped, Unawakened, so kind of that reflects his drop down to God tier there. Same with Medusa, there's a lot less damage output, especially if you've got haven't got the Awakened ability or the full synergies, but, you know, she still has the armor break, and she still has the ability to shut down robots, and she still has pretty decent damage output there, so still a very, very valuable character. Then we got Captain America Infinity War, missing out on a lot of the utility, but I think one of the things just that still makes Captain America Infinity War so powerful is really just the heavy attacks and the special too, man. The heavy attacks are insane on this dude. They hit so incredibly hard, and that allows you to play around so many matchups in so many like quick and interesting ways. So yeah, Captain America Infinity War is still a beast when it comes to that, and having insanely high block proficiency as well just makes this lad an absolute titan. So we love Captain America Infinity War, and then we've also got Quake, who, you know, doesn't need to be awakened, but it's nice to have her awakened ability for a little bit more block proficiency on those parries, but still, you know, spam heavy attacks, stay against the wall, parry, don't use anything apart from heavies. The Quake playstyle, she doesn't need to be awakened, you can get her as a character, she's really, really good, and you can play around a lot of stuff very cleverly. So yeah, Quake is a god tier champion, unawakened. And then we have the high demigod tier, so champions that don't need to be awakened: Sabretooth, Wolverine, Massacre, Gwenpool. Carnage has taken a bit of a hit down. I moved into high demigod tier, unawakened, because he doesn't have that additional power game, which makes him really, really juicy. Then we got Hela, Heimdall, Dr. Octopus, Vision, Iron Man Infinity War, Sentinel, Wasp, Luke Cage, Gladiator Hulk, Red Hulk, and I decided to put Void in high demigod tier unawakened, because I don't think he's quite the god tier champion, because he loses, you know, kind of the rapidness that the debuffs apply, and also the big damage bonus once you've got all those converted, and also kind of loses that solidified ability to guarantee that he's going to reverse the healing and power gain. But he's still a very good character, man. He's still a cut above the majority of champions, even unawakened, but ideally, you know, you do want him awakened, you do want him at a very high signature level to kind of take him up to that god tier. Low demigod tier, we got Rogue, Bishop, Wolverine, knocked him down one without the massive regeneration bonus there, definitely behind X-23 unawakened, Dormammu, Hood, Mephisto. We've also got Korg, Crossbones, Hawkeye, Aegon. I was kind of thinking about Aegon, actually, because Aegon, I don't really know exactly where he fits unawakened, because it really depends on like the duration of the fight. If it's a very long fight, then maybe a little bit higher, but if it's a very short fight, he'd probably be even lower on this tier list as well. So Aegon's a bit of an awkward one to rank, just because he you know, as the combo hits go up, he definitely goes up through the tier list. So it's a bit of a tough one there. But Aegon's awakened ability allows you to keep some of your combo and transfer it on. So without his awakened ability, man, he is so much less valuable. So yeah, not too much of a banger there. And then we've got Night Thrasher. Night Thrasher actually might be even lower, but even unawakened, you've got the ability to counter auto block and the ability accuracy reduction there. So I'm thinking about Night Thrasher, but I think he belongs there just for now. Then we got Drax, Proxima Midnight, Angela, Symbiote, Spider-Man, and the Champion. All have you know, some fairly decent damage, even unawakened there. So they've got that going for them. And also Proxima Midnight has the utility of being able to parry projectiles and also do minus ability accuracy reduction, or not really take any consequences of anything that might trigger off a parry, which is a very useful bit of utility to have. And also very good for power reserve there. Ultron, Nebula, and Hulk. And then we've got pretty useful kind of Cable, Psylocke, Nightcrawler, Beast, Goldpaw, Guillotine, Loki, and I've got Dr. Voodoo and Scarlet Witch in here, just because, you know, Dr. Voodoo and Scarlet Witch are two characters that I think they really, really need their awakened abilities, man. Really, really need them. Like, Dr. Voodoo's, man, is an absolute game changer for the character, and so is Scarlet Witch as well. They're both, like, okay champions. They can do, like, a little bit. Dr. Voodoo can still, you know, have a 50% chance to nullify and do a little bit of power drain as well, but, you know, it's not going to be that guaranteed bit of utility that you really need with a character, and a little bit of regen, but unawakened Dr. Voodoo is not not really the best time out there. And Scarlet Witch, she's still got some alright damage, can still nullify, but you really want that Awakened ability, man, if you are going to play Scarlet Witch there. So she can still be pretty useful, but not super great. Taskmaster, still got ability accuracy reduction and block. Elektra still got her, ability accuracy reduction as well. Phoenix still got the damage. Yondu still got the heal block. Green Goblin still got a tiny bit of utility and also some okay damage there. Punisher 2099, he's got a bit of utility as well. Red Skull, bit of utility, very good block proficiency, okay damage. Rocket, nothing but some pretty good damage, man. His damage isn't quite at the top tier, but he's alright, mate. He hits fairly hard. And then we got MODOK, some alright damage, terrible block proficiency though. Captain America World War II, good block proficiency, okay damage, nothing too special. Yellow Jacket got some more damage with the power sting there, and Sentry got some alright damage. You can ramp up, but obviously not being able to retain his charges from fight to fight, man, just makes him kind of suck. So yeah, Sentry isn't that great there. And also aside from that, we've just got a lot of champions kind of in this section here, which is you know, you probably don't really want to look at the champion Unawakened. They're probably, you know, if you've got better options toward the left-hand side of the spreadsheet, you probably want to take them. But yeah, we've also got some champions that are just absolute duds without their Awakened ability, like Star-Lord. He's definitely down there, mate. Just, you know, Star-Lord is all about that damage ramp up, and if you can't get the damage ramp up, then he's just not really doing anything, you know, kind of above the average character here. So yeah, just a lot of characters that are really kind of neglected, not having their Awakened abilities, so it does go down a little bit there. So these two, you know, are really to reflect champions that are kind of occasionally useful. They might have like little things they can do, like Gambit is still good for the stun lock, kind of same with Ronin as well, when you have nodes like Power Reserve, but aside from that, not going to have too much uses there. Magneto can be good against Korgs, but I think each and every one of these champions can have some like very rare occasional uses, but that's you know, what the occasionally useful tier is. And then borderline bench, we just got a load of champions that probably aren't really worth looking into, aren't really going to do too much for you. Just chalk up the L and move on. But again, some of these characters, if we look at the main tier list, man, do have some very interesting synergies, like the Winter Soldier with a Killmonger one, and Ant-Man with a full quantum synergy that can kind of recover them and redeem them a little bit, but also Ant-Man does need to be awakened to kind of take advantage of that one as well. So yeah, complicated game is complicated, but hopefully this tier list for best unawakened champions was very useful to, you know, do what it's going to do, which is give you a very rough idea of how I value certain champions comparatively speaking, without their awakened ability or without any team bonuses or synergies in play. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you did enjoy the best unawakened champions video. Again, if you've got any additional perspective, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, because I'm interested to get a bit of an additional input on this one. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.